A lot of focus has been on higher education lately with President Biden's student loan forgiveness plan. The cost of a 4-year university program has nearly tripled over the past 30 years, prompting most students to rack up high debt. So, is college worth it? Well, joining us now is an author who's looked into that question, Thomas Fellows. Thank you for talking with us today. Let me put that question to you. Is a college education worth the cost?
Yes, Shelley, thanks so much for having me. Let's remember what Abraham Lincoln said in 1832 when he said, education is the most important subject we must be engaged in. And let's also remember what Michael Berry said in The Big Short when he said, people want an authority on how they value things, yet they choose this authority not based on facts or results. They choose this authority based on what seems authoritative or familiar. And to answer your question, for years we've been told you have to go to college to be successful, to get a white-collar job. And throughout this interview, I'll make the claim that is just not true.
Okay, now you do say, though, that there are some white-collar jobs that do require, that you believe do require college education. There are others that do not. Explain that. Talk about that.
Well, I found an interesting correlation between ACT and SAT scores and worker readiness while I was coaching the Morehouse sales team back in Atlanta 6 years ago. Notice how I say worker readiness, not college readiness. Usually when we look at standardized testing, we see if somebody is college ready. So two of my students made very low scores on their ACT. They made a 16, which is in the 22nd percentile. Yet they could have gone on to make six figures in a white-collar job in technology sales in their 20s. So the question is how often is somebody not necessarily college ready, but they are worker ready? And I think that happens far too much. I think the way we currently look at education really hurts the lower, the middle class, and even the upper class who have to budget for college.
Okay, so you're talking about them budgeting for college. So how do we look at this then? Is it we shouldn't have such high expectations for our kids, or do we need to adapt our institutions and our corporations?
We need to, have government action. So, when you look at worker readiness, when we look at college, what we're studying there is raw intelligence and convergent thinking. But worker readiness requires divergent thinking and practical intelligence. And when I mean practical intelligence, I mean knowing what to say to whom, when to say it, and how to say it with maximum effect. I learned more personally, and I'm in technology sales as well, I learned more personally doing fundraising for my high school than I did in all my college courses combined. And this education reform would be truly bipartisan because it got attention from Lizzie Fletcher, who's in my home state of Texas, and Donald Trump himself a few years ago signed an executive order where you no longer have to have a college education to work in a government job.
Okay, so this is true for some applications. You're talking about sales applications, because the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics say with a bachelor's degree, workers are going to earn $500 more per week than those without a bachelor's degree on average. So this may not be true for everyone, but it could be true for some, correct?
Well, that's how we look at things currently. But what if someone just went straight to law school or straight to medical school, or did a finance boot camp that cost $40,000 instead of going to an Ivy League school, which would cost $250,000? That way people wouldn't be in debt. Colleges want to make it seem like you have to go to college to be successful, but I make the claim in my study that that is just not the case.
Okay. All right, Thomas Fellows, thank you so much for explaining this to us and getting this voice out. We appreciate the time that you've spent with us today. Thanks so much.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate it, Shelley.